Hello there, Maverick Currency traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is October 8th. Let's jump into the day. Today, we're going to take a look at the news. We're going to take a look at the commodity markets. They've really been moving with some of the political unrest happening overseas. We'll take a look at the current market, score everything, and then we're going to try to find a trade. We always pair up the weakest against the strongest.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, if we take a look at the news of the day, there was not a lot of news. So the first thing we need to talk about is there was a lack of news. We're going to take a look at the returns. There wasn't real big returns in Forex today. We did see some Australian dollar weakness on some dovish RBA minutes. So we got that. It actually put the Aussie down a little bit. The equity markets were really flat for most of the day, and then just by the end of the day, moved higher and higher, and actually put in a decent return. Large cap stocks. Small cap stocks basically were flat for the day. And then we got a big drop in oil from a monster run we had from the high 60s up to the high 70s. We're back down to about 74, but we have more reports that it looks like Israel is preparing to strike Iranian oil facilities. That is likely to send the oil markets higher, at least in the short term. Let's take a look at the performance for the day in Forex. And I just want you to see, look at these numbers. They are not good. They're not great. If we just take a look at 5 of the currencies moved basically less than 0.1%. That is just not enough movement for any kind of meaningful trade. It just is not. The biggest trade would be New Zealand against the Swiss franc. But remember, on good days, we see 1% moves, 0.3% moves. So look, I haven't made a trade yet this week. This has been a low volatility period, and I've worked really, really hard over the years. One of the things I've worked the hardest in my Forex trading is when the market isn't moving. It doesn't have energy to stay out. To just stay out, I go and make my options trades, and I just wait for the currency market to get better. That's why we really advise and like people to trade multiple markets and multiple products, because right now, Forex just isn't great. And that's not just that Forex isn't great, crypto's not great either. So if you take a look, equities had a pretty good day, up 1% for the S&P, but take a look at the VT, the World Index, flat. So large cap stocks are doing very well, and everything else is basically flat. We saw the big pullback in oil, gold down a little bit from all-time highs, and crypto up 1%. That is nothing. That is like a nothing move in crypto. Bitcoin was basically flat. You can see Bitcoin Cash up a little bit. These are not substantial moves in crypto markets. So here we are. The last 2 days have not been great as far as velocity goes and volatility. We've had pretty much one up day, one down day in the markets. And ultimately, overall, this is now looking more like a high base. At first, it was looking like a run to new highs, a pullback, and then a run. And I got to say that, again, we had everything we wanted here as far as a pullback, an orderly pullback right to a support line. We got our doji. We got our confirmation candle with this really nice hammer. And then on Monday, this is just a garbage candle. This is a terrible candle. And I remember talking to some of our stock and options traders who got long on this day, and then the next day they're like, oh my gosh, I made a huge mistake. This is the way markets work. We always love what we call V-bottoms, where they come down and they just bounce, and it's very clean and easy and everyone feels like a genius. Candles like this really shake you. But this is where having a little bit longer time horizon and understanding that, hey, things get messy. Like every so often you do get a V-bottom, which are nice, but sometimes you get a W-bottom where it will do something like this before it finally breaks out higher. We just have to understand that in these periods of time, there's not a clear trend. There just is not a clear trend So if you are looking for a clear signal, you're going to have to say this is a high base, and it looks like a breakout of 5770 would be the signal for a higher high run on equities. We do have the RBNZ tonight, so that is big news, and I'm hoping that that is going to get the Forex market moving. They are forecast for a 50 basis point cut. So I'm definitely watching the Kiwi tonight for a trade. I like how it outperformed going into the announcement because I was already looking at it as a long candidate. So I like the fact that it's going up into a 50 basis point rate cut. If they cut 50 and they say no more, Kiwi likely goes higher. If they only cut 25, Kiwi likely goes higher. The only thing that you could say would cause the Kiwi to really go lower is if they cut 50 and said they're going to cut more. So I just am going into this report thinking, as far as odds go, for me, the odds are Kiwi long looks like the best trade, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on here in this video. As you can see, tomorrow, nothing. There is absolutely nothing. Well, okay, Fed meeting minutes. Those haven't really moved the markets much. Really nothing until Thursday, and then in fact, I don't even think the CPI report is all that important. I think the next good report to trade is this Canadian employment report. And again, and that's not even like a great report. I'm looking at this week, and outside of the Kiwi, I'm not excited about anything. So let's go in and let's look at some of the currencies and see where they score and see if we can find something to trade against the Kiwi. Since I'm laser focused on the Kiwi, why don't we start there? So I'm going to start off with the Kiwi basket. So this is our proprietary baskets where we have equally weighted them against all the other currencies we trade. And you can see that we have had a sell-off here, and we are getting some bottoming price action. It's not done yet. Again, we've got this nice green candle. If we could get another green candle here, that's going to be a pretty good signal that that was a short-term bottom. And if that was a short-term bottom here, then I think we could say we're likely going back up to this level. I'm absolutely really focused on the Kiwi and nothing else because nothing else has any velocity right now. So if we're going to be long Kiwi, we got to go look and see what we want to be long Kiwi against. Now, yen was in my crosshairs earlier this week. As you can see here, the yen has basically gone sideways. So it's gone sideways here. So it hasn't really strengthened. Here's a 4-hour chart. You can see we're starting to get, again, runs and then falls, runs. We could be in a fall here. So I am liking the yen still. But as you can see here, the last 2 to 3 days, there hasn't really been any action. Down on Sunday, up on Monday, down today, basically flat here. I'm going to pop over here to the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc was also on my radar as a potential short. Now, you cannot say that the Swiss franc is in a trend. You have to say that the Swiss franc is range bound, but you can say that we have just reached the top of the range. We've reached the top of this range, had this big reversal candle today. I think you can be short the Swiss franc, short-term basis, but again, the question is that the best thing to go short? Let's look at the euro. Euro's still bouncing. It's in a downtrend, but it's still bouncing where the Swiss franc is turned over. Pound, I'm looking at this. I don't like this as a short. CAD, don't like that as a short. Aussie, don't like that as a short. So when it comes right down to it, I'm really stuck with either Kiwi Swiss franc or Kiwi yen. And if we check in on the cryptos, I'll just do the crypto basket. You can see there's no reason at all to be trading cryptos. We like to trade in trends, trends. I mean, these aren't really big moves. These are small moves for crypto, but there's just been nothing lately, nothing at all. So I'm not even looking at crypto at the moment. So going strictly off our velocity scores, this is on a 4-hour chart. Technically speaking, the pound is the strongest, but this is like the weakest +2 I could possibly get. And this -2 on the Swiss franc is really weak. Now, what I mean by this is that all the indicators we use for scoring are pointing 2 out of the 3 on the pound are pointing up, 2 out of the 3 on the Swiss franc are pointing down, but they're not strong signals. They're weak signals. As you can see, everything else is in the middle where we don't trade. We don't trade anything that isn't a +2 or a -2. If I was looking to make a trade right here, right now, I would only have one candidate, pound Swiss franc. That's it. But I don't have to trade. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for this Kiwi. I'm waiting for the RBNZ. And if this Kiwi can move up to a +3, I'll jump on it and I'll look to pair it up against the Swiss franc. So for me, I'm looking at Kiwi Swiss franc is really the only trade I'm interested in, and that's if we get good price action off of the RBNZ statement. So let's go ahead and throw that pair in. Kiwi Swiss franc. All right, I'm going to take a look at a daily chart first, just to see where we are. And you can see this is not a great trade. This is just not a good trade. So I'm looking at this daily chart, and it's telling me, now this is where, look, I struggle with this as a young trader. I would be like, I want to make a trade after the RBNZ tonight. And so I would be like, okay, I'm going to make a trade. And it's going to be Kiwi Swiss franc. And then I go look at this daily chart, and it is literal garbage. It is literal garbage, meaning there's no trend. I mean, look at this moving average. This moving average is just meandering. This move was 52.60, and it took 3 days to get up to 53.40. That's not even, that's probably about 1.2%. That's okay. That's big enough. But it's just, this isn't the kind of trades we like to take. We like to take trades when they're doing this. Like these points are the good trades. These are the times when things are really moving, when that EMA is really sloping down. Now that we're just basing here. So look, this is where as a younger trader, I would be like, yeah, but I want to trade the RBNZ. I want to trade it. I don't care that the daily chart is garbage because I want to trade it. Well, luckily, I'm no longer a younger trader. So I look at this and it automatically disqualifies my trade. So even though I had looked at the calendar, I had done my relative strength, when I pull out the daily chart, it is not what I like to trade. This is where I stop. As a younger trader, I did not stop at this point. I made justifications of why I should be able to trade it because I wanted to make a trade tonight. Now I don't. So the fact that it wasn't good on a chart, I will say not interested. Now look, I'll check it later. I'll check it on Wednesday. I'll check it on Thursday. And if it starts to look better, I'll put a trade out there for it. But until then, again, this is where as a younger trader, I made this mistake all the time. And as a more experienced trader, I don't make this mistake anymore. I just don't trade it. All right. Since we had pound at a +2 and Swiss franc at a -2, let's check in on it. But again, you can see this is just, it's not good. We're looking at a range of 112 to 112.50 in the last 4 days. Where's the money to be made there? There's no money to be made in this kind of price action. There's money to be made here. There's money to be made there. But here, no. So again, I'm going to sit out. I'm going to sit out till the market looks better. Right now, volatility is low. Velocity is low. Just wait. We got lots of trading days through the year. We're only on October 8th. The end of this week could be much better. Next week could be much better. Just wait. All right. Trade the market in front of you. Not the market you want it to be, not the market you think it should be. The market in front of us is not giving us opportunities. Don't spend your hard-earned capital and your hard-earned profits churning your account during these low volatility periods. That's the best way to lose your money in Forex. Most people, this is where they lose their money, not when the market's moving. They do great when the market's moving. They get chiseled away, little bit of losses by little bit of losses during these sideways periods. And they take these big drawdowns. And then when the run finally comes, they're like too scared to take the trade. So just wait. All right. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.